I've been doing this for 22 years. I've seen things. Murders, suicides, accidents. I thought nothing could surprise me anymore. Then I walked into that house. I stood in that living room, and I couldn't speak. My partner asked me 3 times what I was seeing. I just pointed. August 7th, 2017, a Monday morning. A small town called Millbrook, Alabama. Population 1,400. A place where everyone left their doors unlocked. That morning, a 911 call came in at 6:45 a.m. A neighbor, concerned because she hadn't seen her elderly neighbor in 2 days. "Ma'am, what is your emergency?" "It's Margaret Cole. She's 78. She always feeds her cats at 6 a.m. The last 2 mornings, no lights, no movement. I have a bad feeling." When police arrived, they found the front door unlocked. They walked inside. What they saw left them speechless. Margaret Cole was 78 years old, widowed for 12 years, lived alone in the same house for 44 years. She had 2 cats, a garden, and a reputation for being ornery but kind. Margaret was tough. She outlived 2 husbands. She buried her only son. But she never complained. She just kept going, kept feeding her cats, kept tending her roses. The first officer on scene walked through the front door. The living room was clean, orderly. He called out. No answer. He walked to the kitchen. Dishes in the sink, a half-eaten piece of toast, a mug of coffee, cold. Then he walked to the bedroom. The door was open. At first, I thought she was asleep. Then I saw the position. She wasn't in the bed. She was arranged, like someone had posed her. Margaret Cole was on the floor beside her bed. Her hands were folded across her chest. Her eyes were closed. A blanket was tucked around her legs. It looked like a funeral, not a death scene. Deputy Cole checked for a pulse. None. He called for detectives. There were no signs of forced entry, no signs of a struggle, no blood, no weapon, and no obvious cause of death. Detective Laura Simmons arrived at 8:15 a.m. She had 19 years of experience. She had never seen anything like this. The scene was too perfect. That's what bothered me. If someone dies alone, there's usually mess, disarray. This was clean. Someone had been there. Someone had posed her. The forensic team spent 8 hours processing the scene. No fingerprints except Margaret's and the neighbors, no foreign DNA, no signs of a struggle, no weapon. The medical examiner arrived at 10 a.m. No visible trauma, no bruising, no signs of strangulation. She looked peaceful, almost like she had been arranged after death by someone who cared about her. Detective Simmons asked the obvious question. If someone cared about her, why didn't they call 911? No one had an answer. The neighbor was 82 years old and used a walker. Margaret's only living relative was a nephew in Florida with an alibi. The case had no suspects, no motive, no evidence. Then the autopsy came back. The toxicology report took 3 weeks. Cause of death? Undetermined. No toxins, no drugs, no alcohol, no disease severe enough to cause sudden death. Her heart was healthy, her lungs were clear. In 25 years, I've only used undetermined a handful of times. There was no medical explanation for her death, but someone arranged her body. Someone existed. We just couldn't find them. Detective Simmons expanded the investigation. No one had seen anything unusual. The case went cold. For 4 months, it sat on her desk, and then, in December 2017, she got a call. Detective Simmons? "I need to tell you something about Margaret Cole. I was there that night. I'm the one who arranged her." "Who is this?" "Her son. Her son who died 14 years ago. Detective Simmons drove to a small cabin in the woods. The man who opened the door looked to be in his 60s. He had Margaret's eyes. My name is David Cole. I died in 2003. At least, that's what my mother was told. David Cole had not died. He had walked away from his life. Deep in debt, deep in addiction, deep in shame. He couldn't face his mother, so he let her believe he was dead. I watched her from a distance. For 14 years, I saw her at the grocery store. I saw her in her garden. She never knew. On the night of August 6th, David went to his mother's house. He let himself in with a key she had hidden under a flower pot. He found her on the bedroom floor. He said she was already gone. He said he didn't know how she died. He just couldn't leave her like that. I folded her hands. I covered her with the blanket. I stayed with her for 2 hours. I told her I was sorry. I told her I loved her. Then I left. I was a ghost. I'd been a ghost for 14 years. I didn't know how to be a person again. Detective Simmons asked him, "Why are you coming forward now?" David said, "Because she deserved to have someone with her. Because I was there. And because I can't keep running." David Cole was not charged with a crime. Margaret's death was ruled natural causes. He was charged with failure to report a death, a misdemeanor. He paid a fine. Detective Simmons asked him one more question. "David, how did your mother die? Did you see anything?" She was smiling. I know that sounds strange, but she was smiling. Like she had seen something beautiful. I like to think she saw my father. Or maybe she just knew that she wasn't alone. The case that left investigators speechless was closed in January 2018. Undetermined cause of death. No suspect, no killer, just a son who came home too late. This case wasn't about justice. It was about grief. About a man who spent 14 years as a ghost. About a mother who died smiling. I don't know what happened in that room. Maybe I'm not supposed to. David Cole moved back to Millbrook. He lives in his mother's house now. He feeds her cats. He tends her roses. The case that left investigators speechless taught them something. Not every mystery has a monster. Sometimes the mystery is just human. If you are estranged from someone you love, reach out. Don't wait 14 years. Don't become a ghost. I'm your host. Thank you for watching. And remember, the cases that leave us speechless are often the ones that break our expectations.